Hi everyone, it's Cass. Welcome back to my channel, What Cass Read. Today I wanted to film a video, and it's kind of piggybacking off of my theme for this week and talking about some of the series of books that I've been intrigued by, series that I want to read, as well as series that I'm in the middle of and I really want to either catch up on them or finish them entirely. So in no particular order, I wanted to talk about today some of the book series that I would like to finish. So the first book, I think I just need to get this one out of the way because it is probably the most obvious book in the stack of books and series that I would like to finish, but that is The Realm of the Elderlings, written by Robin Hobb. I'm currently reading Blood of Dragons, which is the fourth and final book in the Rainwild Chronicles. I mentioned this in another video of mine, I honestly don't remember which one it was, but how I'm kind of considering, like, I don't want to put a time limit on myself of when I'm going to finish this whole thing up. I had initially said that I wanted to finish all of The Realm of the Elderlings this year, but as I'm getting closer and closer to the end, I'm really not ready to let it go yet. You know what I mean? There's like some book series that just really want to make it last. Realm of the Elderlings is that for me. The final set of 3 books, the final trilogy, it's going to conclude Fitzchivalry Farseer's life, and I just need some time with him. I just need some time before there will be no more Fitz in my life. So this book, just started it. We are continuing on with our Dragon Saga and the lost mythical city of Kelsingra. We're getting close to the end, so I'm not really sure what I think about it. This next book series that I want to talk about is the Gentleman Bastard sequence written by Scott Lynch. This is the 3rd book in the series, The Republic of Thieves. It follows The Lies of Loch Lamora and Red Seas Under Red Skies. The 4th book, which is The Thorn of Emberlin, is, we've heard, on its way. It's on its way. We heard that there was a draft out there now, but this is the final book that is currently published. This book I think is going to pick back up. I think we're going to get into some really serious hot water with Loch Lamora and John Tannen, because we finally have someone from his past coming in to be a big player. She's been mentioned for 2 whole books now. We're finally getting back to the main plot with the Bonds Magi. I think it's going to get really dangerous. I also feel like I want to get to this book this year. My strategy kind of for the end of the year was really to get into and finish some of the series that I've been working on, get back into some of the fantasy series that I had put down for a second, and I believe that The Republic of Thieves is one that I would like to prioritize in that gigantic list of books. The more I think about this storyline, the more I think about John and Locke, and again, the danger that I feel like we're going to be put into with this book, the more I want to get to it really soon. Okay, this is another book that I actually started this one and I put it down. This is Bloody Rose, written by Nicholas Ames. This is book number 2 of his The Band series, the first book being Kings of the Wild. I read Kings of the Wild last year and I absolutely loved it. It was hilarious. It was just a story that I needed at the time that I got it. And then I immediately picked up Bloody Rose, picked it up, put it back down, picked it up, listened to it on an audiobook. Didn't think the audiobook narrator totally understood the humor that Nicholas Ames brought to it. So I put it down and I haven't gotten to it again yet. That was 2018 that I had actually picked this up, so I don't think I've even attempted to finish this book in 2019. This follows Bloody Rose, the titular character. There's a young minstrel who ends up falling in with Bloody Rose's band. Bloody Rose is a legendary mercenary. She's got her mercenary band. She's on a tour, picks up a new minstrel. Tam the minstrel is who we follow, her perspective of Bloody Rose. So at the point that we meet them, Bloody Rose is already like a legend in her own right. So this is one that I really want to pick up on. I don't even remember where I am in the book. I was on page 52 before I jumped in on the audiobook, and then the audiobook just brought me so in and out of the story that I just don't remember where I'm at. So maybe I'll have to start over from the beginning with this one. This next book, this is Blood Witch, written by Susan Dennard. This is book number 3 in the Witchland series, where it follows our Blood Witch Aedwin. So exciting. The Witchlands has Truth Witch, Wind Witch, Sight Witch was novella, that we were supposed to read before Blood Witch. I did read Sight Witch earlier this year, literally so I could get the backstory on what's going on with Blood Witch. Blood Witch follows our two main characters, Safi and Isolde. They've been split apart in this big scheme of trying to win over the kingdom, and there's been a truce that's no longer being honored, and we have all sorts of different witches with different powers. This was released this year. I haven't gotten a chance to get around to it yet, but this is definitely something that's like a high priority for me. This is Thunderhead, written by Neil Shusterman. The first book being Scythe. I literally just finished Scythe at the beginning of August. So we are now in the middle towards the end of August, and it is super fresh in my mind. Scythe was a book that I wanted to read as far as sci-fi books that I got to this year, and I picked up Scythe for the Newt's readathon. Well, I smashed that book. I read it in like a day. That hasn't happened to me in a very long time, where I was just that glued to a book. I listened to it both on audiobook and read it in the hardcover copy and smashed it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. Rowan has gone off the grid. The order of scythes has been turned on its head, and there's just a lot of turmoil that we left off with. We left off with a really good, not only cliffhanger, but just like a trajectory into how the rest of the trilogy would go. Yeah, so I envision picking this one up. I don't know like if this is going to be a priority for me, but this is something that I'm definitely interested in, as well as The Toll. What is it called? I don't know, the third book is coming out at the end of this year. So if I can get to this one, then I can get to the third one really soon. And then it'll be a series that I've completed. This is God's Grave, written by Jay Kristoff. This is book number 2 of the Nevernight Chronicles. Oh boy. I also finished, smashed through Nevernight in the month of August for the NEWT's Newt's Readathon. And now here we are. God's Grave is in my hands. Dark Dawn is going to be released in September, and I feel like I should read this really soon to just like keep up my momentum. I absolutely loved it. I filmed a reading vlog last week, and I posted it with some Nevernight spoilers in it. So if you want to hear some of my Nevernight thoughts like immediately after I finish the book, you can go ahead and check out that vlog. So the synopsis of Nevernight, you know, we have Mia Corvair, this young assassin, going off into the assassin school, but now she's back in the city of God's Grave, and it seems to me like we're gonna draw inspiration from like Roman Colosseum gladiator feeling, and I am super stoked for that. Cannot wait to see what happens in God's Grave. I will keep you posted. And the final book / series that I want to talk about is the Faithful and the Fallen series. This is book number 3, Ruin. And then there's one more book, Wrath, is the 4th and final book in this series. I've been taking my sweet time with this series. Each of these books are massive. This is probably the biggest one out of all of them. But I started this book last year actually, and I put it down. I put it down during the Christmas holidays. I brought it with me on my road trip, but then I ended up finishing Grey Sister and the Mistborn trilogy. So I had like 3 really hefty series that I was working through, and Ruin just got put on the back burner, and I haven't gotten a chance to pick it up again. This follows a young main character of Corbin. We are in the Banished Lands. There's a god war happening where there's some angels and demons at war, but manipulating and utilizing magic in the land to make their war happen. There's giants, which is not something we totally get all the time. There's some really dark magic that we encounter. We follow our young character Corbin through this chosen one trope, but we meet lots of really interesting characters. He's suffered a lot of heartbreak. He's suffered some deaths. He's suffered some victories in battle and some defeats in battle, and so this is the 3rd book in the series. He's in the thick of it. He's in the thick of his destiny and trying to figure things out. He's on a mission to go to a secret place so that way he can get some training, and then he can, you know, defeat people and evil through the rest of the series. So it's very stereotypical high fantasy, but it moves really quickly because each of the chapters is pretty short. I've heard from a lot of people that Ruin is their favorite in the whole series, so we'll see when I get to this one. I do want to prioritize this before the end of the year, because since I put it down at the end of last year, I would really like to finish this book up soon, so then I can only have one more book left in the series, and then I'll be done with it. All right, so that's it. That was just a stack of books that I had been thinking about, some series that I'm currently in the middle of and I would really like to finish, to catch up to them, either because the next installment is coming out or because it is literally the end and I would like to get to complete it. But let me know in the comment section below. Are there some series that you've been thinking about that I just talked about? Now you're interested in them? Or are there a lot of series in your life that you're in the middle of and you also would like to play catch up and finish those off too? Otherwise, you can follow me on my Instagram and Twitter, social media links down below, Goodreads, Instagram, Twitter, @whatcassread, all that good stuff. And you know how these videos end. I'll talk to you later. Bye.